question that I have for today. If you could go anywhere in the world on holiday, where would it be and why? Natalie, how did you find your place in Jamaica? When I decided to come to Jamaica, it was within like 6 weeks. I was like, yep, I'm going. And all I had was a couple of suitcases and a little bit of money saved up. I was staying with friends and family in Clarendon, St Mary, St Anne. So when I found the job at Vistaprint, they relocated me to Montego Bay. And I stayed in a hotel for about a week and a half, an all-inclusive hotel. And they actually helped me get a place. So they coordinated with a realtor and I found a place in Spot Valley Rhyme Park. So I wasn't very much involved in connecting and finding realtors, but I was involved in what place I wanted, what I was looking for. Place that I found in Spot Valley Rhyme Park was if I was in the UK speaking to my friends, I would say it's a bungalow, but in Jamaica, it's a house. To me, a house is where you have stairs. A bungalow is when you don't have anything. So I was in this 2-bedroom house, which to me is a bungalow. Like you go in, you have living room, dining room, kitchen to the left, and then to the right, you have 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. There's no to the right, go upstairs, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, but we're not gonna go there. There's a house and a scheme. I was there for a couple of years, living and working in Montego Bay. And then I went back to the UK for a few months and then I came back. When I came back, I was back in Montego Bay, St James for a few months. And then I applied for a job as HR manager. When I moved to Kingston, I was in a studio apartment. I appreciated them helping me find a place. Same approach. Don't remember the realtors that I connected with because it was done by the organisation. When you came out of the apartment complex, you crossed the road and you would be at Devon House. So I was very, very central in Kingston, and I believe that's what my bosses wanted. They knew what they were doing when they were like, yeah, look for these areas. But I'd also spoke to family and friends about, areas in Kingston, and they said, Natalie, probably Kingston 5, Kingston 8, Kingston 10, or Kingston 6 is the areas that they would recommend me to live. So I was there for a couple of years. It was fine. What I needed to do, it's very, very close to the office as well. I would say it's walking distance, but in Jamaica, they would say you ain't walking nowhere, jump in a taxi. But to me, if I was living in England, I'd be like, this is walking distance compared to, it took, 2.5 hours for me to get from door to door to work when I was working in London and living in Kent. So it was just a dream come true. Even in Montego Bay, some people may have thought, Natalie, you live quite far out, Spot Valley, Rose Hall, Rhyme Park area, compared to you working in Montego Bay. But it was like, to me, it was like half an hour door to door. And I remember 2.5 hours door to door, and then 2.5 hours back when I used to work in England. The person that I was renting for, the landlord, they decided to sell the property. And when my landlord had said, Natalie, we're going to sell, I was like, actually, it was good timing because I'd grown out of that place now. So I was ready for a bigger place. And so I was looking, and this time I was looking by myself. I had some recommendations of some realtors. If you want to know the realtor that I used, just let me know. I wanted a swimming pool. I did. Girl, I live in England. Yeah, I'm in the Caribbean. Why would I not try my hardest to see if I can get that, right? So I wanted a swimming pool. I wanted to be in a gated community with security. I didn't want an apartment which is so overpriced, but then when you tour it, the furniture, the decoration is something from the 50s or 60s. Why haven't you upgraded your bathroom, your kitchen, your living room, the furniture, if it's fully furnished? Those things super disappointed me. So I did want a fitted kitchen, a fitted bathroom. Those are some of the basic requirements that I was looking for. And I set a budget. And Christina said to me, you ain't gonna find that, Natalie, at that price. And I was like, I appreciated her candidness and her advice and her guidance. And she did help me as we found this place together. But it was just, I knew what I wanted, and I was going to try my hardest to do that. So what did I do? I searched loads of different realtor websites, Coldwell Banker, Jamaica. But when or you could just type in Chat GPT, realtors in Jamaica. 6 years ago, there wasn't no chat GPT. So I used Google, which is actually chat GPT anyway. It's pulling the information from Google. I just typed in Jamaica Realtors, and then I went onto these websites. If I could sign up for mailing lists, I did, or to be sent notifications of places that met my requirement to send me those notifications, emails, or I would save the website as a shortcut so that I could always go back. And I was on these websites every day, in the morning and in the evening. And guess what? I found what I was looking for in my budget. Yeah, 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 yep.